was hiding from these little scope that coming through the windows and all that. And so it's like, and then they said, so they dropped the restraining order and they dropped the burglary and they charged me with entering a building without permission, which is, I'm on the deed, so it's like I shouldn't have even, and Simon with the pin, I should have been collecting rent from that house the entire 9 years, and so it's just crazy, like, that, you know what I mean, it's like entering a building without permission that is mine, and then, so they changed that, and then an hour later, they come out and they said they found more drugs on me, and they said they found coke and a gram of meth on my stuff, and I'm like, I mean, so that means that it's really because I mean, I got out 2 days later. I got out 2 days later, and I peed like as soon as I was going to the officer, the police officer, and so I showed him those drugs were not mine. Why, if I hid the gun, why wouldn't have I hid the drugs too? If I was worried, but I told them to call the police. So, you know what I mean? So I'm about to have my trial. I'm gonna go to my trial, and I win the trial because of those facts. That it's so fishy, everything's so fishy. And the hospital found no mental illness, and they said that I'm extremely intelligent and that I should represent myself over an attorney because an attorney isn't going to know my story as well as I am. But I should have advisors to tell me, you know, what to say or what not to, you know, or self-incriminating stuff and whatnot. Like, how often do they get sent somebody at the Hawaii State Hospital? And instead of saying, like, yeah, this person is fit to go through the court process, instead they say that I should represent myself and be my own attorney? You know how opposite that is? It's just like, whoa, oops.
That's actually scary. I would be sus on that.
What, I'm representing myself?
Because they are not, like, they are not on your side. You know what I mean? Like, it almost sounds like a setup. Yeah, let you go represent yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it could be, you could be wrong because you are in no court, so, like, that could be true too, but it's almost never advisable to say that.
Well, it's weird, right? So they had done a number of things, and I called them on it too. I was like, taking my phone away is a violation of my First Amendment rights, right there. I have no freedom of press. I have no voice. You've made it so I just disappear into the background noise, and I had a presence, an online presence, and people needed to know my story because I'm you know, like broadcasting the truth here, and I was like, you know, I was moving my money around, and so I have my patient's rights. I should have access to my funds and my valuables, and I should have access to my First Amendment rights. The hospital took those things away from me for 5 months, and now I'm released, and I find that all of my stuff has been pillaged, and these people are trying to extort me to get any of it back, and it's just like, I just feel like I just should walk away, like I should just fly away from this place with me. Right? I mean, even
On your side, like, nobody. It just sounds like even if you win your case and all that, what are you doing there, you know?
yeah.
Nothing but attrition over and over.
So then,
Go start somewhere and have a fresh life, you know? I know it's hard. It's fucking hard. I don't know how to do anything right now because I can't barely make money, but, you know, at least it's...
I've got an RV. I bought an RV. My grandma's friend's husband died.
Yeah, I remember you told me
So,
that.
and that's in Utah, and my cousin's got it, and I could go fix Beatrice Lightning up, and maybe put together my glass blowing tools and stuff, and turn that RV into a moving glass blowing station or whatever. And
Like, how fun would that be? Be where you want to be.
yeah, and meet new people and not drag any of the, you know.
Right, like, let this story be in the past.
And then it's like, and Joe, you know, I've got like evidence of Joe walking in on me without 24-hour notice, and the police, I made police reports, and they said he had to give me a 45-day notice. He owns 60 properties out here. I could sue him, and I could, but that would mean that I would have to stay here and deal with it and go, you know, write down a list of all the things I'm missing and all the things, you know, and then it's, and then the court isn't going to count like the value of my folder rights or the value of my coin collection, the value of my...
There's no proof that they're not
And no, and I paid taxes.
It costs you time and your energy and your life, you know.
Yeah, like I paid taxes and didn't report all the valuables that I had as my possessions, you know. So that would make me tax fraud maybe if I,
Right,
you know, if I
right.
because.
Like, so you can't claim it when you didn't claim it then.
So it's, I mean, it was
now.
sand on the ground that got struck by lightning and got turned into a treasure. But you know what I mean. So it was just sand. And nobody owned it. I'm allowed to pick it up and own it. And all my time that I put into it was valuable as well. But you know what I mean. And my art, like my art that he threw out. Who's to say what my canvases were worth and what my, you know, like all these things. But like I'm the artist. I set the price, and the fact that I had them still just shows that the price was, you know what I mean. Like I didn't put them low enough to
But
sell
ultimately,
yet.
nothing, because you could say whatever you want in this world, but there isn't, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up in those situations, even though we know and you know, like, its value and
So like
all
Chip,
the art that you've made in this world. So
Chip helped me package up. Like I had 12 priority boxes full of coins on the bottom level, and then Fulgurites on the next level. You know, and I'll pad it in these little priority boxes that I was going to ship to my sisters. And each of those was worth $100,000. You know what I mean? Like, and so Chip would be able. He said he would testify to helping me pack those up. And, you know what I mean? So like I know I can, like, at a minimum, even with the testimonies and the recordings I have and the videos and all that, I could prove Joe was in the wrong. He violated. He broke the law, and he scammed me, and then pillaged all my stuff.
Bottom
and
string
took
broken.
millions of dollars of my value as an artist, as a influencer,
five strings
you know,
or
like
four
a
strings?
scientist. He took my
bass.
life's work from me.
My bass and my
And-
guitar.
I mean, I can say it's worth, you know what I mean, $50 million.
I gotta take this guitar to
But the courts are going to see that he was in the wrong and that he
Getting
did.
a
I
new
mean, he could do
string.
time over this. But it's still like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to go backwards when I have so many things. I could just focus on some of the songs I'm writing and
forward, right?
right,
Like,
find new Fulgurites. Like,
it sucks. Letting go of all that shit sucks. But also, if you want to really stay in that, stay in the fight for what, you know, on that island, then I would go forward. Go forward and, like, get out of there.
yeah.
Yeah. But,
And I mean, the U.S. is going to be, we're going into Revolutionary War status here, which will, like, during World War kind of situation, like the country's getting the rugs pulled out from under it. So
Right.
I don't even know if me in an RV up in BLM land is even going to be a safe spot as well, you know?
yeah,
So-
but it's a better bet than, you know, like, all this, you could do all this work trying to go through the courts and all this shit, and money could become, like, valueless. Like, you know, just all this is gonna go to shit.
Yeah.
It's worth nothing in this world.
yeah.
So,
So it's like,
you know, like, to have a place like an RV or something, and what you do, like, that's your best bet. Any way you could sustain yourself somehow out there,
yeah.
you know, I don't know.
Get ready for the big waves.
This is a fucking joke.
Oh, man.
Oh
it's
my
such a nightmare.
God.
Yeah, yeah.
So slow. So slow.
Oh wow.
So slow.
And I mean, the world is evolving so fast around it, and it's just like, how do they think they can even keep up with shit like that? It's just like,
Oh my
Well,
God.
the fucking island is the Wild West. There's nothing on your side over there either. Like, it's
like the
do whatever the fuck they want.
yeah, it's syndicate, right? It's syndicate. They're all connected, and I'm not. I didn't sign up for whatever this is, you know. So
It's not on your side.
yeah, and not only that, because I've been a victim of it, and then I'm taking the evidence down to prove what's been happening to me. And then all of a sudden I'm a threat to them because I'm exposing dude. Yeah.
They could just choose to simply go against the whole system and bury you because you are a threat.
Holy God. Yeah, so it was lucky, like they've never even had, like the people were so confused at the hospital. They were like, well, the courts never just like said, oops, sorry, and just let someone out like this. You know what I mean? Like they were giving me my stuff back. I'm like, can I have my phone, please? You know, like they're like, and I didn't have classes like anymore. They took the restrictions in all my classes. No more piss tests. Like the court pretty much showed me that they were like, you know,
I feel like they're just asking you to leave.
and I told them I was going to.
Do you not get it? Get off the highway. Why, you know, like they've given you these opportunities to just go.
And then, right, I got ripped off on a storage unit, shipping container too. Did I tell you that? I ordered one. Well, after Joe told me to get out by Friday, I was like, holy shit! Like, it took me 2 months, and I went and did the police report, and they said he had to give me 45-day notice, but I still tried to get out by Friday because I had court the next Friday, and so I was just like, I got online and started asking about shipping containers and how much space and whatnot, and I was trying to sell my stuff. I was like, well, I don't have time, I don't have internet here to actually have like a live sale. So it would be better if I just shipped all my stuff mixed together, just use the stuff I don't need as padding for the stuff that's delicate, you know. And so we went from $240, and I sent the guy $3,000, and then I found a better deal, and he wouldn't give me my money back, my $3,000 down. Because in the small print it said you had to give 3 days notice, and I asked them to come in less than 3 days, right? So it was like there was no way I could have even, right? So he didn't warn me about that. And so this Florida company ripped me off $3,000 first, and then I said, well, so I have to not lose my $3,000, I have to go through you. And I'm like doing the math. This one was $4,700, but you're saying if I paid this, I get more space. Okay, so we agreed on for $9,000, I would get a full shipping container and wouldn't have to separate my stuff. But he's like, but you have to give me $3,700 more right now. So I was at $6,700, and I said, so, but I don't have to pay the rest until it's delivered, right? And I have this whole conversation recorded audio-wise, and he's like, yeah, you just need to give us the $3,700, and then you'll get the full shipping container. Then you pay the last $2,700 or whatever when you upon delivery. And so I sent the $3,700. It was the end of their day in Florida, midday for me here, and it's supposed to be there by Friday night. Well, shit didn't come until Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. And so they were already late, and they only showed up with a small U-Haul instead of the shipping container. I'm like, I've got a whole shipping container full of shit here. You know what are you doing? All my farming equipment, all this shit, and all my Fulgurites, all my instruments, all this shit, dude. And I was just like, you know, they're like, well, we only have 240 cubic feet on the receipt, and I tried to open the receipt, and it expired in 24 hours, so I couldn't even open it again to get a screenshot of it. Our agreement, and all I had was this audio of him talking, and I couldn't even find the file while these guys were standing there and shit. This lady Tamara was from the church, was helping me move, like pack things up and everything. I was paying her by the hour to help me pack things up and to move into this stuff. So she saw what I had, all the valuables that I had at this point, and
Oops.
they just left. She was giving them such a hard time, and like, they just drove off because their boss was asleep still in Florida, and they couldn't wake him up to say what to do. And I didn't have it ready for 240 cubic feet, and they wanted the other $2,700 right then, not upon delivery, but they showed up to pick it up and wanted the other 27 while they showed up with the U-Haul. These guys flew from Florida and just scammed me straight up, like put me in a position. I'm like, it's Sunday night. I can't even pull money out of the stock market right now until the stock market opens tomorrow morning. You guys were supposed to be here Friday night, and it's like, now it's like Sunday, and you know what I mean? And they drove off and said, well, if we drive off, it's like, it's going to be called, you're going to be blamed for canceling because you weren't ready. And I'm like, what the fuck? So like, they drove off and didn't even say that they were going to. They just drove off and made it my fault, and kept my $6,700. Yeah, and then, right, and I'm like, Joe was the one who put this pressure on me, so I should sue Joe for that alone first, right? And then, and then open up another lawsuit.
Everybody.
I mean, really, it is, and it's like I'm in the right, and we have the system that is here to protect us, but it's like, it's so slow.
Well, you're
I can't believe this shit. That was all my Bitcoin. That whole fucking shipping container thing. I had like 6,000 that I had put in there and turned it into 12,000 or something with Bitcoin, and then I pulled it out and gave it to those guys and it swooped out. Another 4,000 pulled out because I had it on if it went between this and this parameters, and I forgot to cancel that order, so it pulled it out and then I put it in the stock market. And so yeah, I pulled my Bitcoin out. I shouldn't have, and I was left with less than a G on Bitcoin. And at least when I had Tamara send my phone to me while I was in the hospital, and they still wouldn't let me use it. I lost my phone number, and then I lost all the money that the stocks were. You know what I mean? I knew Trump's tariffs were going to cause waves. I totally would have sold my fucking stocks at all sorts of points along there. And I would have been able to come up. I would have put it in Bitcoin at the right time. All these different things, and the courts letting the hospital take my phone away. All of that is a violation of my civil rights. So it's like I feel almost obligated for the well-being of the country, for the world. We need to fight this out and prove, set a precedence that our phones, we deserve to have access to the internet and to, because that's part of our brain. At this point, we have evolved to be functional.
You're on Hawaii Island. None of that shit matters.
Yeah, you
It
think?
doesn't follow the rules.
I mean, maybe I could still fight the system through the mail from wherever I'm at. Over.
Yeah. If you do,
Wow.
just do it like that, but don't be there. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No,
You
you're-
can do what you're gonna do, but
No, you're right. At this point, I'm just I could sit here and fight this out and try to get some of my stuff back from Tamara. I already.
just be fighting for it. They'll just slow. They'll just drag it out
I'm stuck.
for who knows. They'll just keep doing
I don't know
that.
what to do with my Sunday. Oh, it's Sunday
Yeah.
fun day.
And I'm a superstar over here. I should be doing.
Oh my
I should
God.
be writing bangers every day.
I should be going down to Sunday fun
You
day.
can do that from anywhere. You don't need to be there for it.
Okay.
Yeah. Check out Desert Drifter on YouTube. He's this guy that was living down there in the Southwest, Arizona, Four Corners area. And his name was Andrew Cross. He just died last month, suspiciously. A car out of the blue hit him from behind, just hell fast, this. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
got brain damage and died a week later. And so he's a YouTube superhero, and he was just down there hiking all over the South Desert, finding Native American settlements, and finding the evidence and leaving it there instead of collecting it and taking it with him. He just leave it there to show the respect for the for archaeology and for all that, instead of for personal gain. Setting a supreme example of questioning, pondering all the possibilities, and having an open mind and being at an equilibrium that is in orbit in the right frequency, and being aware and tuned in, So he is really good. He does, and he edits them together beautifully with awesome music and old Western type music and stuff. And he's just hiking through the desert. So he shows how he's able to survive with just a backpack. He has a solar recharging thing for his devices. He talks about all of his, you know what I mean? He simplified his life. The last year is him and his wife together hiking, and she's a side character, and it adds so much dynamic when just giving them, they're teasing each other on film and just living the adventure, it was beautiful. And then filming each other made it so the shots were better, rather than just selfie style the whole way. And he flies his drone around, and he finds caves and wall paintings and all these different things and his interpretation of them. And I wanted to join him on his mission out there. I was imagining me with my RV and go meeting up with him at one of these hikes. Both of us YouTubing across, because I would all of a sudden get his followers as well.